All will give up their secrets to Mummies Alive. A Roman soldier. Fully armed and clutching a bag crammed full of cash, his body was found on the city beach. What was he doing there?
The city of Herculaneum is behind me over there. And what you have on either side are the boat vaults. This was a busy port. There would have been fishing boats, there would have been pleasure boats. This was an active area. This would be the obvious place for people to try and run to. This was the way out of the city.
Ed Galea is an expert on how humans behave in emergency situations, and is himself a survivor of an airplane crash. He believes the evacuation of Herculaneum fits into a recognizable pattern.
In most emergency situations, human behavior is quite predictable. People tend to evacuate towards the familiar. This place is a port. And so it's likely that people thought this is a good way to get away. This is a good exit route. And so they would have gone down to the beach to try and get onto a boat to take them away, because it's probably one of the normal routes by which people approach and leave the town.
It will have been boats like this, coming in, going out, at the time of the eruption of Vesuvius, carrying people to safety, getting them away from the danger zone, over there, to where they could be safe.
There's a clue in the boathouses. In this case, it's not what archaeologists found, it's what they didn't find that counts. The Herculaneum 300 are remarkable for their lack of possessions. The soldier has his coins, and one woman clutches her jewelry. But otherwise, these are evacuees with few worldly goods. It's a city of the rich on the run. But most of these 300 are conspicuous for their lack of status or wealth.
You could argue that the people on the beach were the poorest. They were the last to leave because everyone else was going, taking whatever they could with them to get away as quickly as they could. And the people that were left behind were the lowest levels of society. In an emergency situation, you're probably not going to be thinking much of your slaves.
With not enough boats to go around, were the poor made to wait? And did the rich get preferential treatment?
The social norms that we have in normal life tend to survive even in emergency situations.
People will have been looking to him to get them off, or at least to give them a plan.
In an emergency situation, most people are starved of information, and it's key to get the right information. And so people tend to look for authority figures to tell them what to do, to give them advice, to give them direction. And so if you are an authority figure and you're wearing the clothing of someone who is in authority, a respected figure, it's likely that people will defer to you and follow instructions that you provide.
If he was their leader, what was his plan? To vaporize flesh, blacken bone, and produce the thin layer of red ash. Scientists believe temperatures reached 900 degrees Fahrenheit, 500 Celsius. No one could have survived.
If these people on the beach were suddenly engulfed in dust and debris and ash at 500 degrees centigrade, these people would have been dead within 2 seconds.
So not a prolonged agony. But the soldier's death differs in one important respect. Unlike most of the others who were trying to seek shelter, the soldier stood his ground in the middle of the beach. The question is, why?
It's quite possible that he was on his own because he was ordering people, instructing people to seek cover. I think he was managing the evacuation process. He was looking after all these people, and he was trying to do his best to save as many people as he could. When he heard the cloud, the rumbling of the cloud coming, he was barking orders, getting people to race in to the vaults to try and save their lives.
But for investigators, one fact remains. Given the chance to escape, he chose to stay, waiting on the beach with the 300 until the very end.
I think the guy on the beach, I think he was generally a good guy. I'd like to think he was a good guy.